Dandava Pranams, good morning. We are going to continue the reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. And we finished the Antya-līlā, and we are going to start today with the Antya-līlā, Volume 1, Caitanya-caritāmṛta. And the Antya-līlā, we're just going to read a little bit about Srila Prabhupada, gives an introduction here a little bit. Says that Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridharju ki Jai. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Sri Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosvāmī Prabhu ki Jai, Srila S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. So the Antya-līlā, because we are starting today, concerns the last 18 years of Śrī Caitanya's manifest presence, spent in semi-seclusion near the famous Jagannath temple at Jagannath Puri in Orissa. During these final years, Śrī Caitanya drifted deeper and deeper into trances of spiritual ecstasy and paralleled in all of religious and literary history, Eastern or Western. So we're going to begin with chapter 1 of the Antya-līlā, Srila Rūpa Goswami's second meeting with the Lord. You have it, Prabhu? Jai. Pangum langajate sailam mukam avartajek shrutim jat kripa tamaham bande Krishna Chaitanyam Ishwaram. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a lame man can cross over a mountain and a dumb man recite Vedic literature. That's a very beautiful verse. Durga me pati me Dasya skalat pada gater muhu swakripa jasti danena santa sant avalambanam. My path is very difficult. I am blind, and my feet are slipping again and again. Therefore, may the saints help me by granting me the stick of their mercy as my support. Sri Rūpa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, Eichaya Gurura Karon Charana Vandana, Yaha Haite Vigna Nasa Avista Purana. I pray to the lotus feet of the 6 Goswamis, Sri Rūpa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta and Dasa Raghunath, so that all impediments to my writing this literature will be annihilated and my real desire will be fulfilled. Jayatom suratom pango mamamanda matergati matsarvasya pradam hoja radhamadana mohano. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and thus their lotus feet are everything to me. Divya Brindaranya Kalpadrumada, Shriman Rangara Sinhasanasto, Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo, Prestalivi Sevyan Smarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath a desire tree, Shri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my obeisances unto them. Shriman Rasarasarambi Vansiva Tatatastita Karsambenu Sunai Gopi Gopinata Sri Jestuna. Sri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the Rasa dance, stands on the shore at Vansivata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. may they all confer upon us their benedictions. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, all glories to the devotees of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Madhya-līlā Sankshepete Karilun Varnana Antya-līlā Varnana Kichu Suna Bhakta Gana. I have briefly described the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu in the Madhya-līlā. Now I shall attempt to describe something about his last pastimes, which are known as the Antya-līlā. Madhya-līlā Madhya Antya-līlā Sutra Gana Purva Grante Sankshepete Karijachi Varnana. I have briefly described the Antya-līlā in quotes within the Madhya-līlā. Ami Yara Grasta Nikate Janiya Marana Antya Kono Kono Lila Karijachi Varnana. I am now almost an invalid because of old age. And I know that at any moment I may die. Therefore, I have already described some portions of the Antya-līlā. Purva Likita Granta Sutra Anusare Jai Nahi Likitaha Likije Vistare. In accordance with the codes previously written, I shall describe in detail whatever I have not mentioned. Vrindavana Haite Prabhu Nilachale Aila Swarupa Goswami Gaudi Bharta Pataila. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, Swarup Damodar Goswami immediately sent news of the Lord's arrival to the devotees in Bengal. Sunit Sachi Anandita Sava Bhaktagana Sabe Mili Nilachale Karila Gamana. Upon hearing this news, Mother Sachi and all the other devotees of Navadvip were very joyful, and they all departed together for Nilachal, Jagannath Puri. Kulina Grami Bhakta Ara Jata Khanda Vasi Acharya Shivananda Sane Milila Sabe Asi. Thus all the devotees of Kulina Gram and Sri Khanda as well as Advaita Acharya came together to meet Shivananda Sen. Shivananda Kore Savara Gati Samadana Savare Palana Kore Deja Vasa Stana. Shivananda Sen arranged for the journey. He maintained everyone and provided residential quarters. Eka Kukura Chole Shivananda Sane Bhaksya Dija Lanyak Chole Kareya Palana. While going to Jagannath Puri, Shivananda Sen allowed a dog to go with him. He supplied it food to eat and maintained it. Ekadina ekastane nadi parahaite udija navika kukura na chadaya naukate. One day, when they needed to cross a river, an Orishan boatman would not allow the dog to get in the boat. Kukura nahila, Shivananda duki haila, dasa panya kodi, dija kukure para kaila. Shivananda Sen, unhappy that the dog had to stay behind, paid the boatman 10 panna of conch shells to take the dog across the river. It says here that 1 panna is 80 kadis or small conch shells. Formerly, even 50 or 60 years ago, there was no paper currency in India.
There is not?
Paper currency. They pay with conch shells. Ekadina Shivanande Gatijale Rakila Kukura Kare Kukurake Bata Dite Sevaka Pasarila. One day, while Shivananda was detained by a tall man, His servant forgot to give the dog its cooked rice. Ratre ase Shivananda bojanera kole, kukura pañache bata sebake puchile. At night, when Shivananda Sen returned and was taking his meal, he inquired from the servant whether the dog had gotten its meals. Kukura nahi paya bata suni duki haila. Kukura chahite dasa manusya pataila. When he learned that the dog had not been supplied food in his absence, he was very unhappy. He then immediately sent 10 men to find the dog. Chahilla na paila kukura loka sava aila. Duki hanya Shivananda upavasa kaila. When the men returned without success, Shivananda Sen became very unhappy and fasted for the night. Pravate kukura chahi, kanha na paila, sakala Vaishnavera mane, chamatkara haila. In the morning they looked for the dog, but it could not be found anywhere. All the Vaishnavas were astonished. Purport. Shivananda Sen's attachment to the dog was a great boon for that animal. The dog appears to have been a street dog. Since it naturally began to follow Shivananda Sen while he was going to Jagannath Puri with his party, he accepted it into his party and maintained it the same way he was maintaining the other devotees. It appears that although on one occasion the dog was not allowed aboard a boat, Shivananda did not leave the dog behind but put more money just to induce the boatman to take the dog across the river. Then when the servant forgot to feed the dog and the dog disappeared, Shivananda, being anxious, sent 10 men to find it. When they could not find it, Shivananda observed a fast. Thus it appeared that somehow or other, Shivananda had become attached to the dog. As will be evident from the following verses, the dog got the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and was immediately promoted to Vaikuntha to become an eternal devotee. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung, Tumi to Thakur, Tumi Tomara Kukur, Balija Janaha Mor. I'm going to repeat that. That's from a song, Tumi to Thakur, Tomara Kukur, Balija Janaha More. This is Saranagati 19. He thus offered to become the dog of a Vaishnava. There are many other instances in which the pet animal of a Vaishnava was delivered back home to Vaikuntha Loka, back to Godhead. Such is the benefit of somehow or other becoming the favorite of a Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also sung, Kita Janma Hau Jata Tuya Das, Sharanagati 11. There is no harm in taking birth again and again. Our only desire should be to take birth under the care of a Vaishnava. Fortunately, we had the opportunity to be born of a Vaishnava father who took care of us very nicely. He prayed to Srimati Radharani that in the future we would become a servant of the eternal consort of Sri Krishna. Thus, somehow or other, we are now engaged in that service. We may conclude that even as dogs, we may take shelter of a Vaishnava. The benefit will be the same as that which accrues to an advanced devotee under a Vaishnava's care. Utkantaya choli sabe aila nilachale pur vat Mahaprabhu milila sakale. Thus, in great anxiety, they all walked to Jagannath Puri, where Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu met them as usual. Sabalanya Kaila Jagannatha Darasana, Sabalanya Mahaprabhu Korena Bojana. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu went with them to see the Lord in the temple. And on that day, he also took lunch in the company of all those devotees. Purvavat Savare Prabhu Pataila Vasa Stane Prabhu Tyani Prata Kale Aila Ara Dine. As previously, the Lord provided them all with residential quarters. And the next morning, all the devotees came to see the Lord. Asilla de Kila sabe, sei ta kukure, Prabhu pase basijache, kichu alpa dure. When all the devotees came to the place of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw that the same dog was sitting a little apart from the Lord. Prashada Narikela Sasya Dena Pelanya Rama Krishna Hari Kaha Bolena Hasiya. Furthermore, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was throwing remnants of green coconut pulp to the dog. Smiling in his own way, he was saying to the dog, "Chant the holy names Rama, Krishna, and Hari." Sasya Kaya Kukura, Krishna Kohe Baro Baro, Dekilla Lokera Mane Haila Chamatkara. Seeing the dog eating the green coconut pulp and chanting Krishna, Krishna again and again, all the devotees present were very much surprised. Shivananda Kukura Deki Dandava Kaila, Danya Kori Nija Aparadha Samaila. When he saw the dog sitting in that way and chanting the name of Krishna, Shivananda became of his natural humility. Sorry, I'm going to read it again. When he saw the dog sitting in that way and chanting the name of Krishna, Shivananda, because of his natural humility, immediately offered his obeisances to the dog just to counteract his offenses to it. Aradina kehatara deka na paila, Sidha deha panya kukura vaikuntete gela. The next day, no one saw that dog, for it had obtained its spiritual body and departed for Vaikunta, the spiritual kingdom. Purport. This is the result of sadhu sangha, consequent association with Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and promotion back home, back to Godhead. This result is possible even for a dog by the mercy of the Vaishnava. Therefore, everyone in the human form of life should be induced to associate with devotees by rendering a little service, even by eating prasadam. Not to speak of chanting and dancing, everyone could be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka. It is therefore requested that all our devotees in the ISKCON community become pure Vaishnavas, so that by their mercy all the people of the world will be transferred to Vaikuntha Loka, even without their knowledge. Everyone should be given a chance to take prasadam and thus be induced to chant the holy name Hare Krishna and also dance in ecstasy. By these three processes, although performed without knowledge or education, even an animal went back to Godhead. Aicha divya lila kore sachira nandana kukurake Krishna kahanya karila mochana. Such are the transcendental pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi. He even delivered a dog simply by inducing it to chant the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna. Eta Prabhu Anyaya Rūpa Aila Vrindavana Krishna Lila Nataka Karite Haila Mana. Meanwhile, following the order of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rūpa Gosvāmī returned to Vrindavan. He desired to write dramas concerning the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Vrindavane Natakera Arambha Karila Mangala Charana Nandi Sloka Tatai Likila. In Vrindavan, Rūpa Gosvāmī began to write a drama In particular, he composed the introductory verses to invoke good fortune. Pate chali aise natakera gatana bhavite, kadacha kariya kichu lagila likite. On his way to Gaudadesh, Rūpa Goswami had been thinking of how to write the action of the drama. Thus he had made some notes and began to write. Eimata duibai Gaudadeshe aila, Gaude asi anupamera Ganga prapti haila. In this way, the two brothers, Rūpa and Anupama, reached Bengal. But when they arrived there, Anupama died. Rūpa Goswami Prabhu pase Karila Gamana, Prabhure dekite Tanra, Ut Kantita Mana. Rūpa Goswami then departed to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, for he was very eager to see him. Anupamera lagi Tanra kichu bilamba haila, Bhaktagana pasa aila, lag na paila. There was some delay because of the death of Anupama, and therefore, when Rūpa Goswami went to Bengal to see the devotees there, he could not get in touch with them because they have already left. Udija deshe Satyabhama pura, name grama, eka ratri sei grame karila vishrama. In the province of Orissa, there is a place known as Satyabhama pura. Srila Rūpa Goswami rested for a night in that village on his way to Jagannath Puri. Ratre swapne deke eka divya rupa nari, samukhe asija Antya-līlā, bahu kripa kori. While resting in Satyabhama Pura, he dreamed that a celestial beautiful woman had come before him and very mercifully gave him the following order. Amara nataka pritak karahat rachana, amara kripate nataka haive bilakshana. Write a separate drama about me, she said. By my mercy, it will be extraordinarily beautiful. Swapna deki Rūpa Goswami Karila Vichara, Satyabhamara Anya Pritak Nataka Karivara. After having that dream, Srila Rūpa Goswami considered, it is the order of Satyabhama that I write a separate drama for her. Braya Pura Lila Ekatra Karijachi Gatana, Dui Baga Kori Eve Karimu Rachana. I have brought together in one work all the pastimes performed by Lord Krishna in Vrindavan and in Dwarka. Now I shall have to divide them into two dramas. Bhavite, Bhavite, Sigra, Aila Nilachale, Asi Utarila Haridasa, Vasa Stale. Thus absorbed in thought, he quickly reached Jagannath Puri. When he arrived, he approached the hut of Haridas Thakur. Haridasa Thakura Tanre Bahu Kripa Kaila, Tume Asive, Mora Prabhu Je Kahila. Out of affectionate love and mercy, Haridas Thakur told Srila Rūpa Goswami, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has already informed me that you would come here. Upala Boga Deki Haridasere Dekite, Pratidina Aisena Prabhu Aila Achambite. After seeing the Upala Boga ceremony at the Jagannath temple, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would regularly come to Sri Haridas every day. Thus he suddenly arrived there. Rupa Dandava Kore Haridasa Kahila, Haridasa Mili Prabhu Rupa Alingila. When the Lord arrived, Rūpa Gosvāmī immediately offered his obeisances. Haridas informed the Lord, "This is Rūpa Gosvāmī offering you obeisances." And the Lord embraced him. Haridasa Rūpa Lanya Prabhu Vasila Ekastane Kusala Prasna Istagosti Kaila Kataksane. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu then sat down with Haridas and Rūpa Gosvāmī. They inquired from one another about auspicious news and then continued to talk together for some time. Sanatanera Varta Jave Gosvāmī Puchila Rūpa Kahe Tara Sange Deka Na Haila. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu inquired about Sanatana Goswami, Rūpa Gosvāmī replied, "I did not meet him. Ami Ganga Pate Ailanya, Tinho Raja Pate, Ataeva Amara Deka Nahila Tanra Sate. I came by the path on the banks of the Ganges, whereas Sanatana Goswami came by the public road. Therefore we did not meet. Prajak Sunilum, Tenho Gela Vrindavane, Anupamera Ganga Prapti, Kaila Nivedane. In Prajag, I heard that he had already gone to Vrindavan." Rūpa Gosvāmī next informed the Lord about the death of Anupama. Rupe Tahan Vasa Dija Gosani Kachalila, Gosanira Sangi Bhakta Rupere Milila. After allotting residential quarters there to Rūpa Gosvāmī, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu left. Then all the Lord's personal associates met Srila Rūpa Gosvāmī. Aradina Mahaprabhu Sava Bhaktalanya Rupe Milaila Savaya Kripa Ta Karija. On the next day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again met Rūpa Gosvāmī, and with great mercy the Lord introduced him to all the devotees. Sabara Charana Rupa Karila Vandana Kripa Kori Rupe Sabe Kaila Alingana. Srila Rūpa Gosvāmī offered his respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of them all, and all the devotees by their mercy embraced him. Advaita Nityananda Tomara Dui Jane, Prabhu Kohe, Rupi Kripa Koro, Kaya Mane. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu told Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu, "You should both show your mercy wholeheartedly to Rūpa Gosvāmī. Toma duhara kripate, inhara hau taichik sakti. Jate vivarite parena Krishna rasa bhakti." May Rūpa Gosvāmī, by your mercy, become so powerful that he will be able to describe the transcendental mellows of devotional service. Gaudilla Udilla Jata Prabhura Bhakta Gana Savara Haila Rupa Snehera Bhajana. Thus Rūpa Gosvāmī became the object of love and affection for all the devotees of the Lord, including those who came from Bengal and those who resided in Orissa. Pratidina Asi Rupe Korena Milane Mandire Je Prasada Panya Dena Dui Jane. Every day, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu would go to Sri Rūpa Gosvāmī, and whatever prasadam he received from the temple, he would deliver to Rūpa Gosvāmī and Haridas Thakur. And maybe this is a good place to stop here today. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Antya-līlā, Chapter 1, Rūpa Gosvāmī's meeting with the Lord, and we continue tomorrow. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. We read a little bit from the Divine Guidance by Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev. So you have the marker in hand-carved gems, right? Excerpt from letters by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj. There is a question here. In summary, I have the following questions. What are your thoughts about maintaining the standard of behavior acceptable to an initiated disciple, and about requesting disciples to chant a minimum of 16 rounds, as had been established by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada in the recent past? Second question, what is the proper conception of the Guru Deva's order to serve with devotion in a family of devotees? ISKCON, designed by the Guru Deva Srila Prabhupada for the perpetuation of the disciples' service to the Lord. Third question, if an institution such as ISKCON has discrepancies, should it not be maintained and given time to mature? Fourth, should the devotees working now on your behalf try to lure settled by neophyte devotees away from ISKCON to your service, rather than be encouraged to serve Srila Prabhupada and his servants in spreading the glories of the holy name and in making a spiritual advancement through the vehicle of ISKCON? And should such activities be encouraged by your workers or not? Fifth, should the books presented by Srila Prabhupada be distributed by those in your service, even including those who should become your newly first initiated disciples? How else can be avoided minimizing Srila Prabhupada's importance to the strength of the Sankirtan movement than to read and distribute these books, even side by side with those published by the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Math? And Gurudev's reply is very long, but we can start a little bit. Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble Dandavat pranams in remembrance of our Divine Master, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Your questions are very clear and relevant, and now I am happy to answer them. But first, it is necessary to make ourselves in a little neutral position in order to see the facts, even though some of the facts you have not directly asked for in your questions. Actually, in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's time, there were many qualified disciples full with independent preaching capacity. I heard this from many sources, also that at any one time they were not unified. They were not unified. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur knew it very well. Therefore, he did not name one particular person as his successor. However, in a special gathering of his disciples one day, before his disappearance, he showed the hint of his desire through the hearing of the kirtan Sri Rūpa Manjari Pada from Srila Guru Maharaj, and he instructed the devotees, for the management of the missionary work, you are to make a governing body with 12 persons, and the secretary of that governing body must be the present secretary, Kunja Babu, for as long as Kunja Babu will live. He also gave some other instructions, but he did not directly appoint anyone as an acharya of the Gaudiya mission. At that time, Srila Guru Maharaj was no doubt very exalted and an undefeatable preacher of Krishna consciousness. But his nature was to always keep himself in the background. Also, he wanted to serve the Vaishnavas very enthusiastically, but he himself did not want to take any position of guru or member of the governing body. Also through the nature and mood, he never tried to come in the foreground of the governing body. He felt himself to be indebted to his few special god brothers who helped him from the first time in his divine practicing life. Śrīpad Vasudev Prabhu, Śrīpad Bhakti Sudhakar Prabhu, Professor N.K. Sanyal, Śrīpad A.V. Bhakti Saranga Goswami, Śrīpad Keshava Maharaj, Śrīpad Madhava Maharaj, etc. Actually, Srila Guru Maharaj himself did not make Vasudev Prabhu an Acharya. Also, he was not in a position to have any right to do so. But when it was declared by that special group of Srila Saraswati Thakur's disciples that Vasudev Prabhu be the Acharya of the Gaudiya Math, Srila Guru Maharaj agreed and immediately felt relief that the responsibility of being Acharya did not come to him. Furthermore, when Srila Kesha Maharaj heavily proposed his name in the governing body, that also he cleverly avoided, because actually Srila Guru Maharaj did not want to be involved in the management. Only he wanted to stay as a humble preacher and friend to all the Vaishnavas. Early also, seeing the situation of his mission, Srila Saraswati Thakur fully depended upon Krishna to select the future Acharya of his mission. Actually, this was the fact at that time. I read a letter of Srila Swami Maharaj where he apparently blamed Srila Guru Maharaj for appointing Srila Vasudev Prabhu. But that was his own idea, and some of the devotees of the Gaudiya Math's idea, and there is some truth also. But if Srila Guru Maharaj had wanted to take a strong managerial decision, then Śrīpad Vasudev Prabhu would not have been able to come out in the forefront easily. But Srila Guru Maharaj was of disinterested nature, and he did not want to get involved with the management. But later it came out in front of all the devotees that Srila Guru Maharaj was the fittest person for the acharyaship. But by that time, that thinking of the devotees was too late. When Vasudev Prabhu and Sundarananda Prabhu, Bhakti Sudhakar Prabhu, and others tried to keep Vasudev Prabhu ownership from the anti-group, and heavily tried to do so with violence, then Srila Guru Maharaj wanted to keep aloof, and he unhappily left that mission. After that, he wanted to stay alone in his bhajan life. This is the fact. But when Srila Guru Maharaj came out from the Gaudiya mission, at that time more than 50% of the prominent devotees also came out from that mission. We heard this from his divine godbrothers as well as Śrīpad Bhakti B.S. Siddhanti Maharaj. It was the idea of Srila Guru Maharaj, of Srila Swami Maharaj and others, and thinking in this way about Srila Guru Maharaj's position. Srila Swami Maharaj mentioned in his letter that if Srila Sridhar Maharaj had not stayed in favor of Vasudev Prabhu, Vasudev Prabhu would not have got that position. It was indirectly supported to Vasudev Prabhu acharyaship. Srila Swami Maharaj was very respectfully intimate godbrother of Srila Guru Maharaj, and I consider he was the right to say as he did. But we will see it as only his expression of clarification of his disciples in order to make his mission perfect. I have no doubt that Srila Swami Maharaj wanted to give the position of acharyaship to Srila Guru Maharaj. And when Srila Guru Maharaj came out from that Gaudiya mission, he received his first preaching invitation from Srila Swami Maharaj in Calcutta as a measure of Srila Swami Maharaj's respect and friendship. Srila Swami Maharaj wanted to start another mission headed by Srila Guru Maharaj. Many times we have seen it. We can mention that his last proposal was that he wanted to take Srila Sridhar Maharaj as the president of the League of Devotees Dasi. Actually, neither of them were very much eager to take missionary acharyaship, but it was later automatically came to them, and they served that chair wholeheartedly, and they endeavored to give full protection to that chair for the future preceptorial line. I know that his letter was not criticism of Srila Guru Maharaj, but Srila Swami Maharaj expressed in that letter in the name of Srila Guru Maharaj for only cautioning the devotees. We can consider this as a past picture of the Gaudiya mission, and Srila Swami Maharaj did not want a repetition of that picture. My commentary is not as a disciple of them, it is simply impartial history. Actually, we have no right to involve in that historical matter. What you say in your letter is 100% true. We cannot fully know the arrangement of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, but we do see practically that insincerity will be rewarded with fall down. But it is not the fault of the Gurudev, but rather the insincerity of the disciples that may lead to such discrepancies and problems. In the time of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, it was his desire that everyone will chant a minimum of 1,100,000 Harinam. Some devotees chanted in that way, but mostly they could not do so. Srila Saraswati Thakur also instructed that to chant 1,00,000 Harinam every day is very good, but that a minimum of 16 rounds must be chanted. But when the Gaudiya mission expanded all over India and disciples also came from all parts of the country, it was his consideration that an absolute minimum of 4 rounds must be daily chanted by everybody. Srila Swami Maharaj realized everything about the Western world, and scrutinizingly seeing their nature of devotion, he gave the direction. Everybody must chant 16 rounds every day. However, everybody cannot follow that. Therefore, they are breaking their promise to Gurudev. Srila Guru Maharaj duly considered, and he expressed, we must chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with full concentration for a minimum of 4 rounds, if it is not possible to chant 16 rounds or more. Following his Gurudev minimum guideline, and he gave much more importance to Seva. That means serving the Lord through the satisfaction of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. Nama Sankirtan is direct service to Harinam, if it is perfectly done without offense. You know the sloka, Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Na Vaved Grahyam Indriya Sevan Mukhe Hi Jivado Swajam Eva Spurati Ada. Sri Harinam will reveal himself through service to the Vaishnavas, and Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur gave more importance to such service to Guru Vaishnava. By his instruction to chant a minimum of 4 rounds, it is indicated that as much as possible by the servitors they are to chant unlimitedly. And everywhere Srila Guru Maharaj said, we need quality, not quantity. Also in Srila Saraswati Thakur's Pratavali, letters to Srila Saraswati Thakur, we can see in his letters to Srila Guru Maharaj that he gave more importance to the service of Sri Guru Vaishnava, and that through such service they achieve the qualification of quality in their chanting. But if anyone can increase the quantity while keeping the quality, that is very, very good. We can also see from another angle, when Gurudeva gives Harinam initiation, at that time the disciple promises, yes, I shall chant such a specific number of rounds, whether 4, 16, 64, etc. But to fail to keep their vow will go in the category of offense against Guru. In that way, it is some relief to the devotees to have a minimum of just 4 rounds daily. On the whole of their divine graces, have the right to adjust their instructions accordingly to the environment, the situation and the capacity of the devotees. Anyhow, the vital point is that we are to chant Hare Krishna as much as possible without offense, with sincerity and with love, and to serve Guru Vaishnava and their Mahaprasadam wholeheartedly. And maybe we can stop here. This is a very good ending by Srila Gurudev's instructions. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Divine guidance ki Jai. Prabhu, oh Didi, do you want to sing Hari Haraja Nama Krishna, please?
Hari Haraya?
Yeah.
Page 60. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhvaya Keshvaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshvaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Śrīmati Sundara.
Gopala Govinda Ram Śrīmati Sundara.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Śrī Caitanya SCSMath ki jai. Śrī Caitanya SCSMath ki jai. Śrī Caitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki jai. Yeah, and today is Śrī Ekadasi. Ekadasi ki jai. Ekadasi ki jai. Śrī Ekadasi Pavas Kankari Bhakti.